Hi, I'm Melanie from Balloon Artworks. Let's get started. Inflate two 5-inch balloons with 4 strokes of the Qualitex hand pump. So that's 4.5 inches. Tie the necks together, wrap them around a couple of times and tie. And make another one of these. Connect the duplets together at the centre to form a cluster of 4. Now make 2 duplets sized to 4 inches, so inflated with 3 strokes of the Qualitex hand pump, and connect them together to form a cluster of 4. Place the small cluster on top of the larger cluster and grab hold of one of the necks and pull it through the centre of the other cluster and wrap it around a few times to connect the clusters together. Connect a sand weight to the base, so insert it here, stretch the neck upwards, and again wrap the neck around that top layer a few times in a figure of 8 motion. And if you want to know how to make sand weights or water weights, I'll leave a link in the description below to my tutorial. I've inflated a zebra print quick link with 26 strokes of the Qualitex hand pump, so that's sized to about 8 inches, and connect the quick link to the base just by pulling the knot and nozzle in. Fully inflate a 5-inch white balloon, then let a lot of air out and downsize to approximately 3 inches and tie. So grasp hold firmly and twist in opposite directions. So this is what you've got. Take hold of the tip of the quick link, pinch hold of the top and run your fingers along the quick link, and then connect that to the split duplet, okay? So that just takes the air out of the tip of the quick link. You're going to need a 5-inch balloon and a little piece of 160 or 260. Inflate the 5-inch balloon fully, and then let out quite a lot of air, okay, until it fits the palm of your hand. And we want this to be very squishy, okay? Tie a knot, and tie a soft knot, by which I mean don't pull the knot tightly, and then roll that knot along the neck of the balloon, because we want to be able to do this, okay? And push the air into the neck. Take your finger, push that knot and nozzle into the base, and you're aiming for a little bit below the centre of the balloon, the base of the balloon. So you'll see the balloon, the base is a little bit thicker, a little bit darker. So, and we're aiming for a little bit below that, okay? And just grab hold of the knots and nozzles, then remove your finger, take hold of a little piece of 160 or 260 will do just as well if you don't have the 160s, and then pull the knots tightly, and then I like to tie a second knot just to be on the safe side. Okay, so that's what you've got. I've inflated another quick link with 20 strokes of the Qualitex hand pump, so around about 7 inches or so. Again, remove the air from the quick link tip and tie the tails from the 160 to the tip, and then we can just trim away the excess from the 160. I've inflated a 160. We're not going to use all of this, so don't worry too much about the size, and then just loosely wrap that around the nose, around the muzzle, pass that knot and nozzle around a couple of times, and then you can break the rest off and tie. And I like to tie twice for these 160s, and then trim away the excess. And we can just round that off slightly. I've inflated a 350 white, and I've got a 5-inch tail, and I've inflated with 5 strokes of the Qualitex hand pump. So give the balloon a squeeze to make sure it's nice and soft, and twist off a bubble. of about 3 fingers. Turn that into a pinch twist, so just grab hold of the knot and nozzle and twist that bubble around several times. Make a bubble of about 3 fingers, followed by another bubble of about 3 fingers. Okay, so fold the balloon over, pinch twist this second bubble. So we've got a pinch twist, bubble, pinch twist. Keep your balloon nice and soft. Make another bubble of approximately 3 fingers. Don't worry if these aren't exactly the same size. And then another bubble. So I've got another 2 bubbles here. Pinch twist this second one. So we've got pinch twist, bubble, pinch twist, bubble, pinch twist. Okay, make another bubble of the same size, and then another bubble, pinch twist the second one, so this is our 4th pinch twist, make another bubble, followed by another bubble, pinch twist the second bubble, make another bubble, followed by another bubble, and pinch twist this second bubble. Okay, so we've got pinch twist bubble, 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 pinch twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pinch twists. Okay, so we can let the rest down and tie. So make another one of these in black. So take your 2 sets of black and white bubbles and pinch twists, place 2 pinch twists together at the start and just twist them around one another, okay? And then work your way up the 2 sections, just connecting them together by wrapping the pinch twists around one another. Okay, and continue until the whole set of pinch twists are connected together. Okay, so that's what you've got. I've inflated a 260 white to a 4-finger tail, and I'm just going to connect this to the base, wrapping it in, and then pass it around the back of the 2 bubbles, and then just wrap the rest of that into the base. Next, using a 160, just pass that through the gap between the 260 and just wrap that around, make a twist, and then pass the knot and nozzle through a couple of times. We can break off here, save the rest of this, and then just tie these into a knot, and then just trim away the excess. And we can just move that gap to the back, so that's just going to give us our hooves. Do the same thing on the other side. You're going to need a cluster of knots, a raisin, and a piece of 160. And we're going to make an external raisin. So we're going to do that on the point of the balloon, just at the top of where the zebra print finishes, okay? So if you can, roll a soft knot and just squeeze some of the air into that area. That's going to give you just a little bit more room to work. And then take hold of the raisin, grasp hold of some of the latex, and just make a fold and tuck that raisin inside, and then take hold of your 160, wrap it around and tie the ends together. Okay, so pull the ends taut, and then once you've tied once, tie a second time. Okay, so that's what you've got. And wrap the first 2 pinch twists into the tails here, the attachment point on your giraffe's head. So just wrap them around. Okay, and then work your way around and attach the knot and nozzle from the quick link into the pinch twists. So just wherever it meets those pinch twists, wrap those in. Wrap a 160 into the pinch twists. I'm going to wrap into the ones that are the penultimate ones, the ones next to the last ones here. So just wrap around and then wrap the tails of the 160 into these 2 bubbles at the neck. Okay. Okay, so you're beginning to get the idea of how this is going to look. I've inflated a 160 to a 5 or 6 finger tail, and I'm going to make a series of loops. So don't worry about the sizes of these loops. We're just making flower petal loops, but they are randomly sized. So preferably keep them on the smaller side, so nothing too large. But apart from that, we're not going to worry about the size of the loops. Okay, so I'm just wrapping these around, making a cluster of loops. So just as you would make a flower, but you're not having to worry about the sizes of the loops, which is a nice luxury for once, isn't it? Okay, and then just snip off the end. When you've made however many loops you've made, don't worry how many. And then we've got this nice bit of excess here for attachment. You're going to need to make quite a few of these clusters in white and in black. We're going to add the clusters to the neck structure to create the mane using 160s. Okay, so just wrap those around and fill out the mane. And I'm going to alternate in black and white. What you can do is create a stretch cluster. And then just pull them into the pinch twists. And just work your way around attaching these. And then just build out the mane, adding more clusters. Built out the hair quite a bit. There may be 1 or 2 more pieces that I add. I'll let you know at the end how many clusters of each I've used, because at the moment I don't know. I'm not obsessed with counting balloons. I just use however many the sculpture needs. Okay, so at this point we need to set the sculpture's head position, and I want to have this downward looking head position, and I'm going to use some glue dashes. So some of you have been asking me what glue dots and glue dashes I use. Sometimes I use regular glue dots, but I do like these U glue dashes. So more and more I'm trying, in my recent videos, I'm trying to include details of the supplies that I use in the description. So check the description first, please. And usually if I'm able to tell you what I've used and where you can get it, that's where you'll find it. So I'm going to put a couple of glue dashes just under the chin here on the chest at the front. I recommend you draw the eyes at this point before you add anything else to your sculpture. It's just going to be easier to get to at this point. I'm using a 5-inch zebra print, which I'm going to inflate with 6 strokes of the Qualitex hand pump. Okay, and then tie. Set this to one side. I've now got a black 5-inch, which I'm going to fully inflate. Okay, and then I'm going to let a lot of air out. So I want this to sit in the palm of my hand. So perhaps about 3.5 inches or so, and tie a soft knot. So, and then roll that knot along the neck. Okay, squeeze the air into the neck of the black balloon, place the 2 nozzles together and push the nozzles through into the base of the balloon. And you can feel them grab hold. Put a twist in the black, take your 160, wrap it around several times and tie. And with this technique, I do like to tie a second time just for that extra peace of mind. Okay, and then you can trim off the excess. Okay, so we've got our horse's leg. Inflate a 160, and I'm twisting a bubble that is perhaps 9 inches or so. Wrap that together, pass the knot and nozzle through. In fact, you could get 2 of these out of your 160. So if you inflate your 160 a little bit more than I did, you'll be able to get 2 of these, which is what you need. And then trim off the excess. Okay, you're going to need your glue dots or glue dashes again. And then to give the foot more of a hoof shape, oops, that's already started sticking, we're going to stick that to the base, okay? For the tail, I've made a cluster of loops in black and white 160. I've got a 260 white, which I'm just puff inflating with the pocket pump, just to put the smallest amount of air in there. And then I'm going to wrap that into the cluster. Okay, and pull the end into the base. So just decide how long you want the tail to be, and then wrap that around. Okay. To attach the legs, I've put a couple of U-glue dashes here. And do the same thing on the other side. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you'll give it a like and subscribe to the channel.